Good morning and welcome to the Berks County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is April the 11th. We'll call the meeting to order. Let's stand and observe a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we will start with the public comment notice, and I'll ask my Executive Assistant, Barbara Lopez, to read the notice.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivera. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Okay, thank you very much, Barbara. Moving along to the approval of the minutes. Are there any changes or additions to the minutes? If none, the minutes stand approved as presented. This past week, we had one executive session, which was yesterday, and we discussed litigation, personnel, and contract negotiation. Public comments, do we have any? No, none online either? Okay, so no public comments in reference to any of the agenda items. So moving on to the agenda. Under budget, adopt a resolution authorizing 2023 budget transfers in the amount of $2,859,944. 2023 appropriations in the amount of $2,170,170. 2024 budget transfers in the amount of $27,930. And 2024 appropriations in the amount of $104,158 per listing dated April 5th, 2024. Under Human Resources, we have one item, which is adopt a resolution authorizing Human Resources recommendation dated April 11, 2024 as follows. Authorize the promotion of Andre Castiglione from probation officer to assistant chief juvenile probation officer, juvenile probation, effective 4/12 of 2024. Under purchasing, we have two items. The first is adopt a resolution authorizing a recommendation to award and further authorizing the Director of Contracts and Procurement to execute a contract as a result of ITB 2411 KS measuring receiver system for testing radio and other frequencies, rebid for a 3-month term for the County of Berks Department of Emergency Services as follows. It is for Test Force USA, Inc. of Addison, Texas, and it is for measuring the system is $73,034.24. Item B is adopt a resolution authorizing a recommendation to award and further authorizing the Director of Contracts and Procurement to execute a contract as a result of ITB, Human Radiological Contamination Survey Simulator for a 6-month term for the Department of Emergency Services as follows. And it's for Teletrix Corporation from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the amount of $84,390. Under the Commissioners, item A, adopt a resolution authorizing Robert Patricio Jr., Chief Financial Officer, to execute the government entity crime policy renewal application with Travelers Insurance from June 1, 24 through June 1 of 2025. Item B, Adopt a resolution authorizing the County of Berks through the Facilities and Operations Department to apply for the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant in the amount of $324,850, and further authorize the Chief Operations Officer, or in his absence, the Deputy Chief Operations Officer, to execute the grant application and any additional documents associated with the application, the award of the grant, and the EECBG program activity files. Item C, adopt a resolution authorizing the Board of Commissioners to convey to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, certain rights of way and temporary construction easements at county-owned property located at the intersection of SR 568 and SR 724 within Robeson Township, and further authorizing the board to execute the necessary settlement statements, agreements of sale, deeds, and temporary construction easements, subject to final review and approval of all documents by the Solicitor's Office. Adopt a resolution authorizing the Vice Chair to execute the Nursing Facility Provider Acceptance and Release Agreement, authorizing an enhanced supplemental payment of $247,256.90 from the Department of Human Services to the County of Berks on behalf of Berksheim Nursing and Rehabilitation. Item E, adopt a resolution authorizing an increase in Berksheim private pay room rates as follows. Private room, $475 a day. Semi-private room, $444 a day. Rehab unit private room, $485 a day. Rehab semi-private room, $460 a day. And these rates will be effective July 1st of 2024. Item F, adopt a resolution amending Resolution 31-19 and authorizing the Director of Facilities and Operations, or in his or her absence, the Assistant Director of Facilities and Operations, to execute properly documented change orders for contracts executed in accordance with county procurement procedure, provided that the total amount of such change order shall not exceed $25,000. Item G, adopt a resolution authorizing the Director of Facilities and Operations, or in his or her absence, the Assistant Director of Facilities and Operations, to execute properly documented change orders for contracts executed in accordance with county procurement procedure, provided that the total amount of such change order shall not exceed the lesser of 5% of total project cost, or $250,000, and further provided that this authorization shall be limited to the following capital projects: renovations to the Agricultural Center, renovations to the South Campus, renovations to the former Community Reentry Center for Youth Detention, and renovations to Courthouse and Services Center for space reallocation and/or lighting control projects. Item H, adopt a resolution authorizing the Director of Facilities and Operations, or in his or her absence, the Assistant Director of Facilities and Operations, to execute the change orders for contract 269653-24 concerning the renovation of the former CRC building as outlined below, subject to final review and approval by the Solicitor's Office. The net result of these change orders is a credit in the amount of $24,730.43. Item I, adopt a resolution authorizing Brian Gottschall, Director of Emergency Services, to apply for fiscal year 2024 Emergency Management Planning Grant funding in the amount of $154,471. The EMPG grant supports a 50% portion of the salaries and benefits of the emergency coordinator and a planner and certain eligible training. Item J, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for Connections Work application for COVID-19 ARPA capital projects fund multi-purpose community facilities program funding to remodel their offices and increase both the efficiency of their service delivery and increase their capacity to serve. Item number 2, motion to authorize the execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth on the contract agenda listing dated April 8th of 2024. And item 3, motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending April 11, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the agenda items as stated.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The agenda is approved. We will now move on to the reports of the treasurer and controller. So, Mr. Treasurer.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivera. Today, we have an opening balance of $196,395,713.14. We have a balance to clear of $7,711,460.34, leaving us with a balance of $188,684,252.80. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Controller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the week ending April 11, 2024, we have a total accounts payable of $13,912,792.03. We have a payroll of $5,095,411.71 for a total cash disbursement of $19,008,203.74.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving along to the Chief Operations Officer.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Commissioner Rivera. Our team works collaboratively with so many departments here in the county, literally 2,000 employees, and they work hard and tirelessly every day, day in and day out. But we want to make special note of a special group of 2 men, our folks in our archives facility. After 5 days of torrential rain last week, they came in on Thursday to realize there was extensive water damage in the building that houses our archives, seeping through the walls. They single-handedly moved and secured 1,000 boxes, made sure that none of the records were destroyed. A significant number of the boxes had to be replaced, but they did this all without our knowledge. But for the fact we call and check in with them every Friday, I don't think Ryan Spuler, our records manager, or Mitch Wood, our archivist, would have ever said anything. So we want to really give them a shout out today that they're really the backbone of a lot of things that happen here in the county. They come in first thing in the morning, delivering vital records to various departments and retrieve records, catalog them, destroy the ones that are permitted to be destroyed, and they do it without any recognition. So Larry and I went out the other day and just thanked them for a job well done, and basically surveyed the concerns they have with the facility they're presently in. So within the next month or two, they will be moving to a much better location, which is basically airtight. So we won't be having this problem in the future. But again, Ryan Spuler and Mitch Wood really should be recognized as some outstanding employees here at Berks County. That's all we have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kevin. And actually, that's segue into my first comment, which is April is National County Government Month, so we want to again thank our archive staff for doing the work that they do, as well as all the other county staff as well. So anyone that is listening, if you know someone that works for the county government, please take a moment to thank them for the work that they do day in and day out to serve the 430,000 residents in Berks County. Few other items on my end. Last Friday, I was able to attend the P Corp meeting at State College, the board meeting. There's various board meetings throughout the year. I am one of the board members. P Corp, for those that don't know, it's a pooled risk. It's basically insurance for counties. It's insurance you can't get out in the market. And if you can get it, it's a lot more expensive with a lot less coverage. So the counties in Pennsylvania have come together and they have put together a pooled risk group to help counties out with this. And I'm part of the board for that organization. And we had our meeting on Friday to discuss the situation of P Corp and any changes in the policies and how we're moving forward with that. So for me, that's a great opportunity to be able to serve the county in another capacity as well. 2 days ago on Tuesday, I spent the day at the Capitol in Harrisburg, meeting with the General Assembly leadership, both from the House and from the Senate as well. And I was there on behalf of CCAP, along with about 10 other leaders from the CCAP board. And we're there to talk about the CCAP priorities, particularly in 2 areas. One of them was mental health-based funding. Just so you have an idea, mental health-based funding was cut in 2012 by 10%, and it has not been increased since that time. We estimate, because there's different ways of allocating the dollars, we estimate that the base funding for mental health in 2012 was $500 million. In today's dollars, that would be $676 million. So right now, 12 years later, we're doing more work with increased costs, more complex cases, and more people to help, with $176 million less than what we had 12 years ago. So our ask to the governor and to the legislature is a $250 million increase to be able to address the mental health crisis in Pennsylvania. And the other priority we're talking about yesterday, because both have to do with the budget, is an allocation, a one-time allocation to detentions to help counties that have facilities that could be ready to go for youth detention, to provide money to get those buildings up to speed to be able to start quickly with youth detention. Throughout the state, we found that different counties have facilities, but they were closed because of changes within youth detention, which I'm not going to get into right now. But those facilities have been mothballed, and there's capital improvements that need to be done to them to be able to open them back up. So we spent today talking. We met with about 10 legislators, leadership on Tuesday, about these different issues. I want to also congratulate Dr. Glynis Fitzgerald. She's being inaugurated as the 8th president of Alvernia College. This will be tomorrow, will be the inauguration. An interesting fact is Dr. Fitzgerald is the first female laity to hold this position in the history of Alvernia University. So congratulations to Dr. Fitzgerald. There's 6 institutions of higher education in Berks County, and 4 of them are led by women. So kudos to all of those strong leaders that we have here in Berks County, leading 4 of our institutions of higher education. Also, 2 other items. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. You can learn more at nsvrc.org. Again, nsvrc.org. Take a moment to learn about that. And also, April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. So we want to also work together to support and strengthen families and prevent child mistreatment. That's all I have. Commissioner Santoni?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a few items as well. Along with Commissioner Rivera, we hosted a town hall meeting this past Tuesday at the Exeter Community Library, and I thought it was well attended. Issues discussed, typical county issues, but we had a nice debate. Elections, passenger rail, infrastructure, prisons were just a few of the items that we discussed. So we want to thank the Exeter Community Library and our Berks County Library System for hosting our town hall meetings. Our next town hall meeting will be Tuesday, May the 14th, and that will be at the Bethel Tulpehocken Public Library. So we'll be reminding you as we get closer to that date. I taped my County Connections BC TV show this past week. Will be airing on Monday, April the 15th at 6:30. My guest this month, since it's April and it's baseball, and anybody now knows I'm a huge baseball fan. I had 2 representatives of the Reading Fightin' Phils joining me. I had Sheila Contento, who's the executive director of the Redners Event Center, the new event center at the stadium that will be fully opened on June the 1st. It's not just baseball related. There'll be opportunities for businesses to have their events there, weddings, proms, you name it. You'll have an opportunity to rent the facility, and I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot more as we get closer to that opening date of June the 1st. Another guest that was on was the public relations manager and the broadcaster for the Fightins. Jake Starr was there, and he talked a little bit about the makeup of the team and some of the events that are occurring this coming summer at the stadium where the Reading Fightin' Phils play. mentioned this last week. I want to mention it again. Jazz Fest is continuing here in Berks County, a large jazz fest, and it's berksjazzfest.com. You can find out more information about it. I had the opportunity to attend an event last night at the Peanut Bar with Eric Koala's Uptown Band. And yes, the Peanut Bar was hopping last night. I wanted to say this first, and I apologize. I want to recognize the employees here at the County of Berks. I think we have a great team, and I think everybody should be proud of the fact that they work here and do a great job representing the 430,000 residents of this great county. And my final comment is to wish our chairman, who's not here today, Mr. Commissioner Leinbach, who I don't think it's any secret, underwent some surgery this past week, getting a new knee. So I want to wish him publicly the very best and hope he's back soon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Santoni. Row officers' comments.
I don't have any comments at this time.
Okay.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention that next week, April 17th to the 19th, will be the PSAC conference, which is the Pennsylvania State Association of County Controllers. We'll be up at State College from Wednesday to Friday. And that conference is the spring conference where we're able to earn continuing ed credits for attending the different classes that they have there. And the controller's office will be taking it. About 5 of us will be going up for that. So I won't be here next Thursday for the commissioners meeting, but we'll have our representative from the controller's office give our report. We'll be up at State College learning all kinds of, for me, new things with regard to the controller's office. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other officers that may be joining online? Nope. Okay, 2 items before we move into the public comment. We do have an elections board meeting today at 11 o'clock. We have 1 item on the agenda. And also for those that did request mail-in ballots, you should start receiving them. They have been sent out, and there's more that will continue to go out. If you do not receive them in a timely manner, please call our office. We can make sure that you get them so you're able to vote, especially if you're going to be traveling sometime before the election and you need it quickly. Please reach out. It's important that everyone gets out and vote. Okay. Do we have any public comments in person or online? No public comments in person or online. I'll accept a motion to
Mr.
adjourn.
Chairman, I move that we adjourn.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.